John Constantine is one of the most popular and most powerful magicians in the DC universe, but how he got there was definitely a struggle. Join me for day 6 of my Superhero Pride Month challenge, and let's talk nerdy about the bisexual detective of the occult, John Constantine. But before we get into that, go ahead and leave your answer in the comments below to this question. Which horror movie are you showing John Constantine in an attempt to scare him? John Constantine made his first comic book appearance in Swamp Thing issue number 37, and ever since he was a child, he was always interested in the occult. And he would often try to practice magic, and one day he found a specific spell that promised to make him into a great magician.
I'll make that deal. How about you bitch, you make that deal?
I'd make that deal.
I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
But little did he know the cost of doing that spell was the lives of his parents. Superhero rule, they gotta go. Despite this, John would continue to practice magic, mainly as a hobby, but that was until he met Veronica and Gaz, and the three of them formed a mystical themed punk band where they would practice serious magic. But one day a spell that John was casting went wrong, and it took away Veronica's physical presence in the mortal world, and eventually turned her into a soul-eating monster. And John was unable to stop it from happening. At this point, most rational people would be like, you know, maybe magic's not for me. But John Constantine is not most people. In fact, this misfortune made him more determined to become a more powerful magician so he can keep stuff like that from happening. In order to improve his skills, John became the secret apprentice to one of the greatest magicians in the world, Giovanni Zatara, as well as being mentored by another great mage, Nick Necro. John, Nick, and the daughter of Zatara, Zatanna, formed their own coven, and together they would battle the threats of the occult. But Nick was starting to get greedy with power, and he eventually betrayed John and Zatanna, which led to John defeating Nick and banishing his soul to hell. And all that was left of Nick was his trench coat, which John took for himself, creating the iconic look of John Constantine. Once again, John Constantine is one of the most powerful magicians in the DC universe, and he knows a wide variety of both white and black magic. Spells like Eldritch Blast, Elemental Control, and even Levitation. But sometimes the spells that he can pull off are so insane. Like one time Constantine was able to create a universe-wide illusion to trick Darkseid into thinking the entire universe was destroyed. He can summon and communicate with the dead, he can control his own luck, and he can even open portals throughout the multiverse. And on top of that, John Constantine has demon blood in him, so that negates the cost of using black magic. So no more dead parents on his watch. Now serving as a detective of the occult, John Constantine is a major anti-hero, serving on the likes of the Justice League and the Justice League Dark Team, which is magic specific. But whether working on a team or working solo, John Constantine is willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done. But now let's talk about John Constantine's romantic relationships, because I love love and I love talking about it. So I know earlier I said he was bisexual, but I was mistaken. John Constantine is actually pansexual in the comics, as he's had multiple relations with various supernatural beings. And if you want to count that one animated Justice League movie, he got with King Shark too. But Constantine's main love interest in the comic books was with Zatanna. But their relationship is very on and off because Constantine is not the most stable person to have a relationship with. Understandably, his life's messed up. Constantine was also in a relationship with his former mentor, now enemy, Nick Necros. In fact, it was kind of a love triangle because at first Nick and Zatanna were in a relationship, and then John started getting with Zatanna, but also getting with Nick at the same time. So it was a literal love triangle between the three of them. But now let's answer the random question that I had earlier. What horror movie are you showing John Constantine to scare him? Now, John fights demons and other unspeakable horrors on a daily basis, so I feel like he's super numb to horror films. But personally, I would show him a B-horror movie called The Mean One, which is a Grinch horror film. It's kind of hilarious. But I would show that to him, hoping that it is so bad quality-wise that scares him. But what do you think of John Constantine? Where does he rank on your favorite superhero character list? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, go ahead and hit the like button, and then be on the lookout for tomorrow's video on the shape-shifting mutant Mystique. And if you missed yesterday's episode talking about Valkyrie, click on the box right here, and I'll see you in a bit.